Ep10.
Welcome back to Risk Talk with
Yes.
Siobhan and Siobhan.
Yes,
Season
yes.
2, episode 10.
It better be 10 though.
It better be 10. It's 10. They not counting.
I stopped counting.
It's okay.
That's bad.
It's cool. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. So yes, I want, before we start discussing our topic, I want to apologize to my mom based on the first episode we did, the transition episode about me moving back, and I discussed the experience of living with my mom. It was all love and jokes. We were joking, but I love my mom. She's the best. So I'm sorry, Mommy, because Mommy felt away. She felt away. But yes, shout out to moms.
Hey, Auntie.
So the last topic we talked about dating toxic men or attracting toxic men.
Yes.
And we touched on men, the reason why men are toxic, or they experience their trajectory when they were young, and the experience with their parents, and how that has an effect on their upbringing.
Yes.
And how they handle situations, relationships, friendships, and all that other good stuff. So I thought it was best if we discuss about parenting,
Okay.
the different styles of parenting. Now, we always say, oh, it doesn't come with a handbook. There's no right or wrong to parenting. Everybody says that. Everybody has their own style of parenting. But as the more and more we talk about toxic people, just men and women in general, I'm realizing that there is a wrong and right way, but I think it should be done according to the type of child you have.
Yes.
So if you have a child who, let's just say, not motivated to do certain things, to do their chores, and you may have to show some type of authority or demand some, things like that. But I just felt a need to maybe we should talk about parenting, because we're both mothers, mother of two.
Yes, mother of two. It could be also the age when you had that particular child.
Yes.
Because I was a teenage mom, so I had my first child at 17.
That was a
Yeah,
lot.
I was called what you would call back then. They would call me fast. Moving forward now, a thought.
You was a thought.
That's what they would call it.
She was fast then, she a thought now.
I'm
Nah,
not a
just-
thought, but I'm just
joking, I'm joking.
But I didn't know what to do at 17. I did my best with the help of my mother, and I had a very good support system when it came to my daughter. There was a lot of things that I did. I had no patience. I wanted things done my way or no way. I wanted everything correct. I wanted to prove people wrong that I can do this at 17.
Right.
That's what I wanted to do. So I was hands on back then. Whereas I'm not as hands on as I am with my son. I've learned patience. I'm gonna say it again. Patience.
No, that's because even like your first child, I don't know if you remember the commercials when they be like, with your first child, you're so cautious about things you do, and wash the pacifier off before you give it to the kid. And then by the second kid, you just like, shit, 5-second rule. You better take this passy.
Yeah.
But you learn from,
Your mistakes.
I was a young mom. I was 20 when I had my first kid, and it was tough. I call her my struggle kid.
Okay.
Because I was working full time, going to school full time, and being a parent full time, and it was a lot of pressure. So it was just that was more of a defense mechanism, me being independent. It was just I just had to strive for certain things. I always created personal goals for myself. So I think I became a little, what they call these type of mothers, the kind of authority, very strict, because I had a struggle. I didn't, I'm not going to say too much, but, like you say, some people have some good support system, and then some people don't, where they feel like they're doing it on their own. So it was just I went through that stage with my daughter. It was tough, Do you feel you're up, how you were raising your first child? Do you think it affects her now? Do you see certain values that you try to install in her? What's the outcome? Because I'm just talking about our oldest kids. Because your daughter's what? How old now?
24. She'll be
24.
25.
All right. Paige is 21.
I think I struggled more with the second one as
Okay.
opposed with the first one.
Okay.
Because although I had her at 17, my upbringing and my surroundings was she's too young to do this responsibility.
Okay.
Everybody wanted to take charge. Everybody wanted to put your hand in. Everybody wanted to help. You helped, of course. You know, it was just my favorite girl. I think I did exceptionally well with her.
With her.
Yeah, because I was lost at 17, trying to find my way, but also trying to be this perfect parent, trying to live in this perfect household, trying to create pathways for her that I didn't have for myself. So it was a lot on me. And when I say I've done exceptionally well with her, I've done exceptionally well with her. She graduated from St. John's University on an academic scholarship.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. So,
So
you know, all that hard work and support
It
from
paid
family,
off.
it pays off.
Morals, respect. Girls have attitudes.
Yeah, so that's the thing where
Yeah,
we
a
need
lot
to
of them.
touch, especially the girls. Like raising my child, like she went through a stage. I think this, because I think being a parent, there are different stages you're going to encounter. So you have the first stage where they're like between 1 to 5, you know, that's the nurturing stage. That's where you're nurturing them, loving them, disciplining them. No, don't do that. That's a no. That's a yes. Don't do
Yes.
that, you know. And then when they hit like from like 5 to 12, that's a different stage. And that stage is like, okay, we're trying to install different values like do's and don'ts, creating an environment where you can be penalized if you don't do this, or I'll take this away. That's what I mean by penalized. Like, you know, if you don't get good grades, I'm taking the game away from you. Like, you have to learn how to value certain things because you can't spoil them too much, right? Because then they're going to think everything's handed to them as they get older. And then you have the other stage, which is stage 3, which is roughly what, 13 to 18. That's the tough stage.
That's when they want to hang out.
Right. So their peers have more of influence on them than parents do. So they isolate us out during that stage. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about, Mom. What do you say? Why I can't and why I can't do this? Da, da, da. So I feel that between 5 and 12 is very crucial because that's the age where they go through their personality changes. Like, you know, try to identify, you know, who they are, you know, what they like, what they don't like, or trying to fit in school. You know, so 11, 12, raising girls was so difficult. It was the smart mouth, the talk back, and why I can't do this. And you be thinking like, what did I do wrong? Why she got so much mouth?
I was very fair with my first child because I wasn't allowed to do much growing up. I had a very pouty mouth. I was very smart in the mouth. Always talked back, you know, very defiant. I went to school, did what I was supposed to do, got good grades. That was a plus for me. But my mouth, my attitude, it wasn't acceptable in my house. So I try to be fair with my child. Like at 14, 15, and 16, now they want to go outside. They want to go to the movies and stuff with their friends. So my time frame for my child will be different than versus my mother time frame because she will always call and question me, why are you letting her stay out this late?
Right.
You can't do that. Let me do this. You know, I don't mind if she goes out to the movies with her friend. And at 16, if she wants to come home, just say 15. We're not even going to say 16. If she comes home at 9 o'clock at that time, that was okay for me because she started her day early. So you have to start your day early in my house. So if you want to go out to the movies and you want to be with your friends, you want to hang out, by 2 o'clock, you better be outside. You cannot start your day at 6 o'clock or you can't go nowhere because now when it's 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock seems like you just went outside. So it's like, now I got to call my mother and ask her, can I stay out late? And I'm going to say no.
Right.
Had you would have started your day earlier in the day, then I would have maybe gave you the 10 o'clock. And, you know, back then you pay for a cab and they come home. So, you know, I was really lenient with her. It could have went both ways.
You were lucky, though.
Lucky. But not this, I don't know what she didn't do when she was around me, but for the most part, it could have went both ways.
Because you have some parents that can be like, you know,
strict.
Right.
I didn't want to be that strict parent. Because I snuck and done shit.
See, this is when
that's why I didn't want to be that strict
you
parent.
have to be conscious of the type of kid you're raising. Like, you know your kid. So, for example, like if someone that really not too involved and just automatically they're just strict, them kids rebel.
Yes,
you
they
know?
do.
Especially if you're not nurturing and loving them and giving them like, you know, guidance in the sense like not being like strict, like, oh, you can't do this and no, none of this, and then no explanation, they're gonna do it anyway, you know. For me, I was strict. I was dropping Paige off at school at 14. She hated. Wow, let me get on the bus. I'd be like, no, 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 because I'm still scared. I'm still nervous to this day. I call her like, did you make it home yet?
Yeah, gotta.
It was hard for me to like wean off of being so overly, overprotective over her. Um, and I was hard on her with school. Like you have to
Schooling.
do this, you have to do that. But then it has a different effect on each kid.
Yeah.
So a kid may be like, you make me hate school because you constantly,
That's my
telling me
son.
or showing me
Yeah.
that, oh, this you have to reach this goal and it's about grades and grades, but we kind of forget that we still need the nurturing part.
We
We
miss that.
still need the guidance and giving them, you know, just kind of like an idea of what would happen or outcome if you go this route. Or if you pick this route, are you prepared to be making X amount of money? Like you have to figure out what it is. Or we have to learn how to be like, all right, if you don't want to do things that I want you to do, we can't do that. Because every kid or everybody have their own path. So that was hard for me. That was my point. That was hard for me because I saw something in her that I felt that she would be good at because she was really good in science. I'm just giving an example.
That's fine.
And then she decided, I don't want to do science. I don't want to be a nurse. Like, and I had to learn how to just say, you know what? You do what's best for you.
Yes.
And the only thing I can do is just guide you.
Yeah.
Now, with the second kid, boys are different. Raising boys is like, totally different than girls.
Very challenging.
It's so challenging.
You know.
It's so challenging.
I'm gonna just say.
What advice you have for those
For
who are
boys?
raising? Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out.
Raising my son is very hard because he wants to do what he wants to do as far as he has his own personality. These kids nowadays, they have an opinion. They are very boisterous with their opinion.
Yeah, because we allowed them to voice their opinion.
Yes.
Opposed to how we were growing up, we weren't able to. I had to shut up.
He's a sweet kid. I call him the cool kid Ross. But I'm learning him more every day. And I have to allow him, even at 14, to start to make some of his decisions that's going to benefit him. Because doing things my way may not work for him.
Give an example, something simple.
He's been in a certain school since kindergarten. And when he went to high school, I took him out. And I transitioned him to a private school.
You did that because you
I
felt it was
wanted
best,
it.
right?
Yes, that. Not because the school lacked anything. It's just something that I wanted to do. I'm trying to have him on a. He needs guidance. You know, boys are just like hard. He needs structure. He needs structure all the way. And I thought that the high school lost its structure in high school, as opposed
You
to
think so?
I thought that.
No, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the high school because I'm trying to get him back in the high school. Moral of the story. But he's not happy there.
Yeah.
And he said, I told you I don't like it. But you wanted to put me there. You have to let me make my own choices sometimes, mommy. And I feel bad because he's not giving it his all because
He's not
he
putting
doesn't
no effort.
happy.
He's not happy.
He's not happy. He's not. So I'd be like, how was school? He'd be like, huh? And every day he'd be like, can I go to my old school? Can I go to my old school? I want to see my friends. He even goes to the old junior high school to visit the teachers.
Really?
And I'd be like, you miss them, right? He'd be like, yeah, I do. And I'd be like, I'm going to try. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but I'm going to try.
Right.
To see if I can get you back.
But see, that's a good example of mothers putting pressure on their
Yes.
kids and wanting them to have these certain accolades and, you got to do this and da-da-da-da, and then you have no idea what are their interests. Like, they're not going to put effort, number one. But they have no interest. So we can't force them. We
We
can't.
want so much for our children, especially these black boys. We do.
Yeah. And we're
We
very
really,
hard
really-
on them.
Very hard.
Very hard. So I noticed too with my son, my son needs structure in home, in the house. So I went from the summertime having a set schedule of time. And I'm like, Dad, that's so strict because I'm not really that strict mom that I used to be when I had my first child. So now I'm more of like, what they call it. It's a certain style where you kind of like, there's some authority, but then it's just like the passiveness with certain things. But I realized with him, there can be none, no passiveness at all. Like I can't even let him slide because I don't want to talk bad about my son. I'm not talking bad, but there's a sense of laziness, you know? So it's like now it's like, all right, you get up in the morning, you got to make your bed the minute you get up before you even go downstairs and make breakfast. And it's sad because I never done that to him before. So it's hard for him now. He's just like, but I'm like, I have to do it now before he gets to high school, you know? So he has chores around the house. You know, I make him do chores. He does the laundry certain days. He cleans the bathroom certain days. He wash dishes certain days of the week. And it's like, no games. Like, I'm trying to motivate him, you know? So, for example, I told him, I said, listen, in order, can I get an 85 and up on these report cards? They like 75, 80. Like, it's not consistent. I'm like, I give you $25 for every 85 and above that you bring in. And it have to be above 80. So I'm waiting on the report card. We're going to see. But it's a struggle because he's so lazy. And I'm like, what am I doing
difference
wrong?
between, you know your kids. We have smart kids.
Right.
My son can hold a intellectual conversation with any adult.
Same thing with
the things that he say, you be like, wow. So even when he was in his old school, he would have to present his report card to me and tell me what he went wrong at, how he can make it better. He will articulate everything. And the principal would be like,
but don't want to do the work.
Yeah. He said, I know your child. He knows the work, so this is why we don't call you. He's just being lazy.
Being lazy. Yeah. It's funny. I don't want to get into
it.
But we can talk about that. But we can, you know.
Goddamn kids!
There's different styles of parenting. You know, you have the one that's, you know, strict. The one that, neglect. You have the one that that can be overindulging. You know, setting goals. You got to do this. You got to do that. You know, there's different styles of parenting. And to be honest with you, like people say there's no right or wrong way, but if you have to give a little mixture of both.
Yes.
And it depends on the kid, you know. We don't get a handbook with this shit. But, you know, some kids may need, you know,
a little more
as far as loving and nurturing, or some kids need the strict, you know, it has to be a combination of it depending on the kids you're raising. So, yeah. But parenting, being single parenting, like, what do you identify? Because it's like a debate about, do you consider yourself single? So people say when you're a single parent, are you a single parent because the father's not around at all? Or the father's around and he don't participate as much? Like, what's your identification, your definition of a single parent?
To me.
To you.
I would consider myself a single parent.
Okay.
Yes, his dad is involved, but he's not as involved as much as me. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to break it down to you the way that I think it should be broken down so you can understand. Because if he watches this, he's going to have a fit. But maybe he'll listen to me this way.
Oh, Lord.
It's 365 days in a year, right?
Yeah.
We do every other weekend. So you figure every other weekend is 4 times a month, right? 4 times 12 for the year is 48. 48 subtracted by 365 days is 317. Who does most of the work?
The mother. You mean far as the days of, yeah.
I do a lot. You know, the child lives in the home with me, so yes, of course I'm going to do a lot. But I started to really think about the days and I broke everything down once virtual school came about.
That was another job.
I said, are you shitting me? Mind you, I'm a full-time mother. I was a full-time worker. And then I became a full-time teacher. I'm emailing and corresponding with the teachers, hoping they could reach back out to me. Like, how do you do this work?
Mm-hmm. I went through that.
It was a lot. So when they said they gave you the option for the kids to go back to school, at that point, my son got content, got lazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
no.
All kids,
it wasn't for you. It was for me. I need a break. You got to go. You got to go. His father was like, I don't think, really? Your thought doesn't really matter right now. I need a break. Because you know, on your days off,
right,
the child is in school, so you get a little
Right. Ain't nothing like them days when
They
they in
did.
school and you
Look,
got you
he was home for 365. I said, he gotta go. He gotta go. I don't want to go to school. It's not what you want.
Oh God.
You have to go. Even if it's 2 to 3 days out the week, even if it's a half a day. You gotta get out my house. You gotta have social skills. You gotta
Right.
get out. This is no good. And you're in and out the refrigerator too much. Too much.
Eating.
When do you eat lunch in school?
One time.
Why do you feel so freely to keep going in the refrigerator? The weight gain for the 365 days home in the house.
Yeah,
a
that
lot.
was 2020. I think every kid gained weight during the pandemic.
You gotta go.
Oh gosh.
I think,
Speaking of that
fathers
time,
should be more involved in
Yeah.
their sons' lives.
And
They
that's
really,
an
really do.
ongoing argument, I think every parent goes through that, and I don't want to, discuss my situation, but it's just like, you put in the 48 days out of the year, and it's just like, oh, I do this. No, I mean, co-parenting to me is splitting the days evenly. So if I have him X amount of days, you have him the next X amount of days that I have, or whether if it's every weekend, it probably tally up close to the days of the week.
Even if it's every other weekend and you take them for the whole summer.
Right. It
That'll
has
work.
to be an exchange.
That'll work.
It has to be a balance, not
Yes.
an exchange.
A balance.
So, that's an ongoing argument. It's like there's no understanding, what co-parenting really is for some parents, But it's just like, what can you do?
Because I'm pretty sure he has his own definition.
Yeah, everyone does.
Which is
everyone
fine.
does. And they look at, okay, although we have the kid 90% of the time, there's a lot of room for error, for shit to happen when you go through with your kids, like, messing up in school or acting out or not doing their chores. Like, you will see a lot. You could draft a whole fucking chart or matrix of everything that happened the 90% of the time you having your kid. But when you have the kid 10% of the time, ain't that much errors to happen within those 48 days.
They criticize
right?
you.
And then they point the finger like, it's you. No, nigga. Excuse me, I didn't mean to say nigga. But I'm just saying,
I need help.
like,
I can't raise a boy.
yeah.
I can't teach him how to become a man.
Yeah.
I'm happy that his father is involved in his life.
Yeah, I mean, his father is involved,
Yes,
but there's nothing wrong with a little
Hint,
more.
hint. Maybe you want it for the summer. Hint,
Right?
hint.
There's nothing wrong with a little more of
Days.
Days.
More days.
Because boys, they need their fathers, and it's tough because you want to have a great relationship with your child's father, So yeah, that's crucial, but that's an ongoing topic.
That's it,
I be trying to keep the peace. Like, I just want the peace. Listen, if you don't want to, compel or agree on this, hey, what me do?
Everything. My favorite
That's
word. Cool.
Oh, okay.
Cool. No problem.
But it's not that they don't, and I think that's the problem. So I'm not going to say that the fathers don't want to. I don't know what it is between the mothers and the fathers. Like, it's like, all right, what's your gripe with me? Can we get past us? Because it's not about the mother and the father at this point. It's about the kid and the best interest of the kid. So it's like, can we get past stop arguing? And we could disagree to agree, but it's not about you and I. It's not. It's
We
about
have
the
one
kid.
common denominator,
and that's him.
the child.
So whether you don't like the way how I do certain things or I don't like the way how you do, fucking so be it, nigga. We created this freaking kid. We got to come together, figure it out,
common grounds, and we have to figure it out.
and do what's best for the kid. And I'm not just speaking me personally. I'm just saying in
Overall.
general because I know there's a lot of mothers and fathers, that go through this. There's nothing unorthodox about this.
But you
It's
got
just-
some dads that just think because they are being raised by a good parent that their moms just always figure it out. And
Yeah,
they don't
you
really
have
have to
those.
do much.
You have those, and then you got the fathers.
But
think
sometimes I want you to figure it
the
out.
mothers ain't got it all wrapped up, and they don't have the tools to be a mother.
Yes.
So that's where
It works both ways.
Yeah, but we would never see eye to eye. So just let's do it for the kid.
Do it for the kid. I
Do it
ain't
for-
gonna do it. Do it for the kid. What he playing? I'm only
And
playing.
being in a single parent dating. How was that for you? It's the last time. What time is it? What time we got?
I think it's going to be very hard for me to invite someone in my home with my son because he's just used to me, And we had this conversation, and I said, "What are you gonna do when I find somebody?" He said, "What do you mean? What I'm gonna do? What you gonna do?" I said, "Excuse me?" I said, "You didn't say nothing when your dad found somebody." You know what he said? "I didn't let that happen, but it happened." He said,
So
but
when you think you gonna put a stop to
he
this?
said, but you're my mom. I said, okay, what does that mean? He was just like, I don't want to talk about it.
What?
He don't want to talk about it. I said, your mom need an ass bust. I'm saying it to myself.
Little do you know. Oh, that's so funny. Oh gosh.
But I'm just like this. You know, even with my child, my daughter, they are so used to me just being with them that when someone else comes involved, they be like this. My child, if looks could kill, if it said kill in the dictionary, her face would be right there like this.
Like, who's this?
You know?
So maybe you should have that conversation with your kids. Like,
Maybe
you know,
I'm
mommy,
grown and I can do what I want to do.
No, you should have a conversation.
I had the conversation.
Oh.
I'm grown.
With both of your kids? The
I'm grown.
24-year-olds?
I'm grown. I'm not living for what they like and what they don't like.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, have a sit down, make it seem like they have some say. Make it seem like, not,
Okay.
you know.
He did.
And
He said it.
and express to them, you know, as an adult, you know, mommy has a life as well.
Yes, I
you
do.
know. I had that conversation with my son. I don't know, maybe last year. I don't know when, but I had that conversation with him, and the reason why I had the conversation because he brought it up. He actually brought it up and said, you know, when are you going to, you know? And I'd be like, well, I don't be wanting to bring nobody around you, like, unless I'm certain. But he was like, no, I want you to be, you know, in a relationship, happy, whatever. So then I felt comfortable saying, so, yeah, he's open to it. He's open to it, which is a good thing.
A good thing.
Yeah. So.
He talked to his cousin.
Huh?
He needs to talk to his cousin. Because he's spoiled.
But you know, man's like an old man. He gonna be like, you know, Raymond.
Raymond ain't with it.
Maybe you should allow your mother.
Yes.
So you don't bring nobody around your kids ever. Cause that's hard.
Nobody.
Well, you know, they go to their dad's house every other weekend. So
Not the 24-year-old. She
barely stays there. Like
came home. She came home yesterday. I said, "What are you doing here?"
Look, what if I had company? Who you gonna bust in the
Oh, I'm being mad. She gonna be mad when she watch this. I was like, so today's the day you're not going to your boyfriend's house. I get one day in the house by myself. Without you and your brother. I can't have that one day. Woosah. I don't know. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you should. Mama need a life too.
Yeah.
You know? It's unfair.
Yeah.
You know? They fathers move on.
Yeah.
Why
That's
we
easier
can't?
for them.
Well, because they're not there
Because you're the nurturer,
full-time.
you're the mother, you're loving, you're
They're there
caring.
part-times.
You're, you know, before I go to bed, my son will come in my room and be like, did you set your alarm? And I'll be like, I forgot. He'd be like, this is what you got me for. So he think he's the man in the house. So
Well,
somebody
that's
else
that age.
Yeah, so he's just like,
You need to get somebody in there quick, though.
I got you. Look, I got you, Mom.
He at that age where a dude come in, he gonna be looking them up and down like,
so
"Who
I can
you?"
see him now if you know someone is consistent in my life and the things that he would normally do for me, somebody saying, I got her, don't worry. That may like kind of put like a trigger point for him. Like, I'm used to doing this for her. I'm used to setting her alarm. I'm used to making sure her lights out. I may make sure she good. Like, that's my mom.
Tuck her in.
Yeah.
All right. I was
I'm her
gonna
mom.
say.
I don't care. He takes care of his mother, you know?
Okay.
So, you know.
But no, you
have to figure it out.
because he's at that age. That's the tough part. When you know, you're raising boys and then you're single and you're trying to like, you know, bring someone around is very difficult because they're at that age where it's like where I'm used to just you and I.
Yes.
So
that's
now
what it
a
is.
man comes in and then another thing too, when they do come in, it's just like, and you guys form a solid relationship, there have to be some boundaries. You have to have a boundary talk with your mate because some people may come in and be like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, wait, we got this. Yeah. You do have say, but it, you know, there's a different type of say.
The tone, the delivery.
Right, that too. You know, so definitely, you know.
I
think
would
of
like
that.
to date someone that has kids.
Yeah.
Because they
Me
experience,
too.
you know, they patience is like,
right. They know,
you know,
already how
yes.
to
Someone
deal
without
with
kids is just like,
and someone that love kids
yes.
that genuinely like.
I'm gonna
love
try him.
kids.
I'm gonna test him for
gonna
grandma's 80th birthday party.
What you gonna say?
I'm gonna just meet and let him introduce to a
Genuinely
guy
love.
and be like, this is who I'm dating. I would like you to meet him just to see his reaction.
Who's going to be the dummy?
I don't know.
I'm like, who are you inviting? Who's the dummy?
He doesn't know all my friends, all my guy friends. You said the dummy. Wow.
Not the dummy like in the make-believe guy.
I just want to see
like,
I just want to see what he say. I just want to see his reaction.
Oh God.
Yeah, man, I look good, but I just want to see his reaction. The dummy.
The dummy. Who's the
We'll figure it
dummy?
out.
Lord Jesus.
Life is about figuring stuff out.
Yeah. And
So
what works for you?
It is right. I figure things every day is different, so I figure
Every
it out.
day?
It's coming. Whenever it comes, it'll flow.
Yeah.
It'll flow.
I just pray that the person have kids already and that they love kids.
Yeah.
So what's a good amount of time to introduce your kids to your mate? Because that's a debate.
I would say a year. And a year may seem like far-fetched, but goes by very fast.
Okay.
It goes by very fast because I was dating someone and it took him a year. I needed him after that 1 year. I said, yeah, I'm going to need you to go get my son from school.
You on stepdaddy duty?
Yeah, he was like, you
Stepdaddy
allow
duty.
me to do this? I said, this is a big responsibility. I'm going to need you right now. Because he's
Honey
familiar with your face but not know. So,
Right.
So, and feed him when you get him. Drop him at
He
camp.
likes.
Yeah. A year, you know.
Okay.
I could be dragging it for some, you know. But
I think a year is too long for me, because then, I mean, either way, you can't win. It's like a lose,
whenever you feel comfortable, let me put it like that. Whenever you feel comfortable.
Yeah, because you wait a whole year and it's just like you're fully involved and you care about the person, and the child finally meets the person and you're like, I ain't feeling them, and you be like, fuck, how am I gonna maneuver this? But then again, you don't want your kid to meet anybody like you're dating so quickly, because it's like, well, Dad, how many men mommy have? You know, so it's tough. It's tough. I don't know. I don't really have the answer to that.
You know, however you feel, you know, whatever works for you. I could just tell you what worked for me at that particular time. Doesn't mean that moving forward, the same situation is going to apply with the new guy. I may not wait a whole year.
Okay.
So it all depends on the situation. It may be 6 months. It may be 7 months. Whenever I feel comfortable.
Right. That's how I feel. Whenever you feel comfortable, you should do it.
Yeah. There's no rush to
Especially if the kid is receptive of you being involved.
But there's no rush. I'm trying to get to know you still.
Yeah.
You know? Don't worry about my kids. They good. I don't have to, for my kids, be on the news. Lady Will appeared in court today.
Let me spit this out. Yeah. All right.
For strangulation.
Lordy Jesus.
Yeah, man appeared to want to meet her children faster than she thought. Dead.
All right. Well, that's it. I just wanted to discuss about parenting. It's tough being a parent, you know. Try to install as much values as possible in your kids.
Morals, respect,
and nurturing and loving them, but also letting them know that there's consequences when you do certain things that you're not supposed to do. There's a cause and effect. So I think you have to create a balance.
Yes.
Better yet. And some kids may need, you know, more nurturing than
others.
you being. Yeah. So it's like
every child is different.
Every child is different.
Never compare.
Never. So, yeah, that's all I have for today. Risk Talk with Siobhan and Siobhan, episode 10.
Hey, see you next week, right?
I think so.
My house.